Gentlemen, excellent to be back with you on MGTOW Money. Today's topic, advice your dad probably never gave you. Before I get into that, thanks to the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel. Look, men, it's because of you. This is now video 200. And yeah, this channel has been around for over 2.5 years. I would think that puts it into a pretty selective group of MGTOW channels, the few that are still listing around the manosphere. So the point is, men, go to the video description today, become a supporter of this channel now. And by the way, you don't have to do this, but go to the link that I've included, the Amazon link, for an excellent book I'm going to be talking about, tying in with today's topic, The Way of Men by Jack Donovan. Although this book's a little bit theoretical, it doesn't have a lot of action items. It's got a lot of thought-provoking ideas on progressing from boyhood to young adulthood to manhood. On topic, advice your dad probably never gave you. Gentlemen, question, did you grow up without a father? Or did you maybe your father was only involved for a few years of your life, or maybe he was there, but you really didn't have any communication with him, etc. I think, unfortunately, especially in today's world, that is especially true. I'm willing to guess, I don't have any empirical evidence, but I'm willing to guess that well over 80-90% of boys are growing up with relatively fatherless households. This, of course, I've done enough videos in the past about this. This is a disaster, in my opinion. Perhaps you grew up envying those few families that you knew where the father and mother were seemingly in a positive, fulfilled relationship. And this, of course, generates positive children and young adults, and including men that are functional adults. Unfortunately, because of the curse, this plague, as I see it, of single mothers, especially that has swept the Western world, we've got this tragic, disastrous situation where, not surprisingly in my opinion, where, for example, the number of young men that are choosing to take their lives between ages 20 and 25 is 5 times the number of young women in that same age group. Yes, gentlemen, there is a serious problem here. And no, I don't have all the solutions, and I'm sorry, I don't have all the you must do this or that, and the world will turn out great, but I do have 3 specific ideas in particular that I wish someone would have told me when I was 20, when I was 21, when I was even 30, these ideas would have been good for me. 1, lift weights. Yeah, you heard me clearly. Start getting physically strong. I've talked about the importance of health in the past. There literally is nothing else more important than good health, but especially for a young man, start now, starting today, start getting physically stronger. This has nothing to do with becoming stronger and having a better physique to show off to women. Nothing whatsoever. This has one purpose in mind: for you to become a good, strong man who can take care of himself. And I get it. I'm not talking about being Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not talking about being Mr. Olympia. I'm talking about getting yourself up to the strongest level you can. Whether you're overweight, whether you're a string bean, whatever, you can get stronger. Knock off the cardio. Start lifting weights. Start just doing basic weight training on a 3-time-a-week basis. You do, of course, have this time. If you put down the video game controller, if you stop watching TV, if you get off the internet a little bit, you can do 3 hours a week. You know you've got that time. And before the excuses start that, well, I don't have any money, I can't afford any gym equipment, etc., I get it. You know what? You can start doing body weight exercises. You can do body weight exercises exactly where you are. As a matter of fact, a lot of guys in prison, yeah, you heard me, in prison, that are in solitary confinement, that don't even get access to gym equipment, that's what they're doing. Body weight exercises to build themselves up. The point is, you can be stronger today than you were yesterday. Remember, I've mentioned this before. Again, this is a single-player game. Forget what everybody else is doing around you. You start working on yourself. Make yourself stronger today than you were yesterday. 2, You've got to learn about money. Yeah, you heard me. I'm saying simply learning about money. For example, I remember I'm in my late 20s. I was a college graduate. You know what? I didn't fully comprehend a compound interest table. Something as simple and basic as a compound interest table, I didn't fully understand the impact of it. I was stumbling through a Barnes & Noble and looking at the personal finance books, and I picked up a book and I was looking at it. This is unbelievable. It was like a revelation to me. The point is if you don't know what a compound interest table is, for example, if you don't know what an asset from a liability is, if you aren't sure what a stock is versus a bond, a mutual fund, or maybe what's a good rule of thumb to judge a real estate purchase, etc., go back and listen to some of the prior videos that I've done. They're 10, 15 minutes a piece, and at least they'll give you some idea, and they'll get you started in the right direction. Learning about money is a critical life skill that you must know. And by the way, it's very simple. A lot of it is common sense, and you can do really well with it, because if you want to get FU money, you're going to need to know how to not just earn it, but how to preserve it and build on it. Third, the best piece of advice that I can give you. Ignore the first two if nothing else. Listen carefully to this one. Do not live with a woman or get married before age 35. And that's at the earliest. And that's assuming that you even choose to do. So if nothing else, swear to yourself, not to me, just swear to yourself, I will not live with a woman. I will not get married before age 35. I am speaking as a man who made this huge mistake. Not just once, but twice. Yeah, that you heard me. Twice. One girl I lived with for a while. We broke up. The second girl I lived with for a while, and I married, and we ultimately divorced. This is a disaster. This is a world-class mistake. I can't be any more specific than that. Do not repeat my mistake. Forget about MGTOW. Just listen to a man who's been there, done that. Go through the comment section. You're going to see lots of other men who are going to say, yeah, this guy's right. Listen to me. You need to preserve the 4 no's. I've talked about this enough in the past. I'm going to have to repeat it again for those of you who didn't get the first, second, or third time around. No wife, no kids, no pets, no debts. You want to preserve your freedom for as long as possible into your life. I can't emphasize that enough. Quick summary here, men. The ideas that I'm talking about will make you anti-fragile. I'm taking this from Nassim Taleb's book. Again, see the video before that I did about anti-fragility. You're going to have zero downside. There's no downside. There's no risk to doing these things. Tell me, is there a risk about becoming stronger? Do you really think there's a risk about not living with a girl and getting married before age 35? Is there a risk about learning about money? No, of course not. It's all upside. That's what you want to get in your life, are things that have a positive effect on your life. So you're going to do these 3 simple things. 1, you're going to get stronger. 2, you're going to learn about money. 3, you're going to be careful about women. It's very easy and simple. It's just like that. And that's going to get you closer to the FU money that you richly deserve, so you can do what you want, with whom you want, where you want. Gentlemen, as always, hit the like button if you found this profitable. John Galt, out.